welcome back to my cooking channel, guys. Chef Carlton here in the kitchen today. So last night at the night my uncle was talking, and he gave me a recipe for a vegan patty. He gave me a recipe for a filling that he came up with. So it was pretty tasty, so I took his word for it and I tried. Loved it. So I decided to do a video on it with the filling and the crust for the patty. So it's going to be a vegan vegetarian recipe. Alright guys, so stick with me. Let me walk you through this one, guys. This one is going to be tasty, fun, and a little bit of experiment while we add it to, right? Alright. Alright guys, today I'm going to be making some vegan patties. Alright, so for the crust, I got some flour, some vegan butter, some curry and turmeric, salt, and water, and that's for the crust. For the filling, I'm going to be using some dry pigeon peas, cabbage, some scotch bonnet pepper, garlic, onion, scallion, and thyme. Alright, so stick around. Let me get all this stuff prepped up and ready to go. Alright guys, so we're going to start with the crust. We're going to add some flour. I always like to leave back a little flour. Alright, add some salt. This is turmeric and curry. Mix together. Now we're gonna go ahead and add our butter. Again, vegan butter, guys. All right. Gonna go ahead and fold it in. Now go ahead and add a little bit of water. Just a little bit at first. It's gonna get a nice bright yellow when you finish. A little bit more of the water. Now that crust is starting to come together. Good. Alright guys, that's what you're looking for. Simple, nice crust. We're gonna let this sit in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. You could cover it with some wax paper, you could cover it with a bowl, but just cover this and let this sit in the fridge for 30 minutes. Alright guys, now for the filling, we're gonna start with the cabbage. We're gonna cut these in strips, and then we're gonna mince these real fine. Alright guys, this is fine enough because we're still going to cook these down a little bit more, so that's what you're looking for, guys. Alright guys, now we're going to go ahead and dice these. Start with the onions. Thyme. Do the green onions. Just gonna cut these off. Go right there. Just put that. Garlic. Just gonna crush those out. I'm gonna go ahead and dice, fine dice this one also. If you want it extra spicy, you could add 2 or even 3, but I'm just making a small batch, so I'm just doing 1. Alright, so again, combine everybody together. Just that's it. Alright, so for the filling, guys, I have the cabbage, got the peas, pigeon peas. I got all the seasoning mixed up, some butter, salt, and some breadcrumbs. And make sure you get vegan breadcrumbs, guys, because not all breadcrumbs are vegan. Alright? Alright, guys, so we're going to start our filling. Some vegan butter. Go ahead and add our seasoning. Scotch bonnet, garlic, onion, green onions, and thyme. And the cabbage. Let that cook down a little bit. Add some salt. I'm going to add the peas. Alright, we're going to let that cook. We're going to let that cook and simmer for like 3 minutes. I'll come back and show you guys when we're ready. Alright guys, now that you're here when the peas are cooked, you go ahead and start, see if you could try and get them squished, mashed. Only that way you release the liquid, and that helps to bind everything together. Alright, so we're almost there for our filling. Alright, now let's go ahead and check up on our crust and see where we're at with that. Alright, so it's been 30 minutes. Make sure you get your dough ready. Make sure you got some flour and your rolling pin. Alright. Start by just sprinkling some flour on our surface. Make sure your surface is clean before you do that. Alright. Then let's break the dough in pieces. And we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna roll this out and cut a nice circle shape for our patties. Alright. Make sure you get your rolling pin. Get some flour on the rolling pin so that way it don't stick. Don't worry guys, this won't be too much flour. Alright, let's make sure you roll nice. Make sure you're not to just roll one side too much, make sure it's even. Alright guys, so now that you get it to that size, I recommend getting a perfectly circular object. A pot cover works fine for me because you could also use a pot cover to cut it. Once you get it down, give it a nice turn. Get your knife. Get a nice. Just go around the perfect circle. And then you can put the scraps to use for another one. Alright. to just peel off the excess. Alrighty, and that's that. Alright guys, so this is what you're looking for, alright? Nice circular crust. We're gonna go ahead and fill these now with the filling. And we're gonna bake and have some nice vegan patties. Alright guys, so time to make our patties. I'm gonna give it a nice roll to make sure. Alright, we're gonna get a spoon for the filling. We're gonna get it as flat, nice and flat. Alright, and we're gonna fold one end to the other, like so. I'm just gonna go ahead and seal it. I'm gonna take the knife, fork, make sure it's in some water, and just seal the edges. Alright, score some holes in the top. This help keep it moist. And that's it guys, let's repeat the process. Alright guys, so best result, I recommend putting these in the freezer overnight, or at least 4 hours, let them freeze before you bake them. But if not, then you want to go right ahead in the oven, that's okay. I just recommend going at 325. If you're going to bake them like this, if they're going to go frozen, do 350. Alright, so I'm going to go in the oven at 325. So see you guys in like 15 minutes to see where we're at. I'll let you know if we need more time. Alright guys, there we are, not quite there yet. We're coming on just fine. It's nice and moist. Alright guys, straight from the oven, these are ready. So we're going to let them cool a little bit, then we're going to break into them and enjoy.